The journey is the destination. Have you ever pondered the true essence of travel? Not merely the act of moving from one place to another, but the deeper rhythm that pulses beneath each step, each mile? Is there more to our desire to explore than the landscapes we see, the cultures we encounter, or the experiences we collect? What if, in the act of traveling, we are not just traversing physical spaces, but also navigating the unseen realms of consciousness, time, and existence itself? In today's exploration, we will delve into the concept of travel, not just as a physical act, but as a profound metaphor for the journey of life, consciousness, and perhaps, the universe itself. We'll explore scientific perspectives, philosophical questions, and metaphysical ideas, blending them to offer a deeper understanding of why we travel and what it might truly signify. Let's begin by examining the scientific basis of travel. At its core, travel is a response to our innate curiosity, a drive embedded within our very DNA. Human beings have always been explorers. From the earliest migrations out of Africa to the age of exploration that spanned oceans and continents, our species has been defined by its relentless desire to see what lies beyond the horizon. But what fuels this desire? Modern neuroscience suggests that our brains are wired to seek novelty. The release of dopamine, a neurotransmitter associated with pleasure and reward, is triggered when we encounter new environments and experiences. This chemical response not only makes travel enjoyable but also reinforces the behavior, encouraging us to continue exploring. Yet, is this drive purely biological? Could it be that our need to explore is not just about survival or pleasure, but something deeper? This is where science begins to intersect with the more abstract realms of philosophy and metaphysics. As we continue to examine the frequency of travel, we start to see that it may be less about the destinations we reach and more about the journey itself, a journey that is as much internal as it is external. As we move from the scientific to the philosophical, we must ask, what does it mean to travel? And perhaps more importantly, why do we feel compelled to do so? Philosophers have long contemplated the nature of journeys, both literal and metaphorical. The ancient Greeks viewed travel as a means of self-discovery, a way to achieve gnothi sautan, know thyself. In this sense, every journey, every voyage, is a microcosm of life itself. Each new place we visit is a mirror, reflecting parts of ourselves that we may not have been aware of. But travel also raises questions about the nature of reality. When we travel, we are confronted with the unfamiliar, the strange, and the unknown. These encounters force us to reassess our understanding of the world. They challenge our preconceived notions and push us to expand our perspectives. In a way, travel is a form of philosophical inquiry, a quest to understand the nature of existence and our place within it. Moreover, travel can be seen as a metaphor for the human condition. Life itself is a journey, one that is often unpredictable and full of twists and turns. We are all travelers in this world, navigating through time and space, seeking meaning, purpose, and connection. If we dig deeper, we can explore the metaphysical aspects of travel. In many spiritual traditions, the act of traveling is seen not just as a physical journey, but as a spiritual one. The ancient practice of pilgrimage, for example, is rooted in the belief that the journey to a sacred place mirrors the inner journey towards enlightenment or divine understanding. In esoteric teachings, travel can also symbolize the soul's journey through different planes of existence. The concept of astral travel or astral projection is a perfect example. This idea, found in various spiritual traditions, posits that the soul or consciousness can travel outside the physical body and explore other realms or dimensions. This notion is echoed in the teachings of many mystical traditions, from Sufism to Kabbalah, where the journey is often described as a path towards unity with the divine or the ultimate truth. In these traditions, the frequency of travel, both physical and spiritual, is seen as a way to transcend the limitations of the material world and to experience the interconnectedness of all things. The symbolism of travel is also present in the tarot, where the Fool's journey through the major arcana represents the soul's progression through different stages of awareness and understanding. Each card or stage is a destination, a point of learning and growth along the path to spiritual enlightenment. In this light, travel becomes a means of exploring not just the outer world, but the inner world as well. It is a way to connect with the deeper aspects of ourselves, to awaken to the mysteries of the universe, and to seek answers to the questions that lie at the heart of existence. Now that we've explored the scientific, philosophical, and metaphysical dimensions of travel, let's consider how these perspectives might intersect. Is it possible that the biological impulses driving our urge to explore and the spiritual significance attributed to travel are two sides of the same coin? In recent years, there has been a growing interest in the idea that science and spirituality are not as separate as they once seemed. Quantum physics, for example, has begun to reveal that the nature of reality is far more complex and interconnected than previously thought. Concepts such as non-locality and entanglement suggest that all things are interconnected, much like the spiritual concept of oneness found in many mystical traditions. Could it be that our desire to travel is rooted in this fundamental interconnectedness? That in exploring the world, we are, in a sense, exploring different aspects of the same universal consciousness? From this perspective, travel becomes a way to experience the unity of all things, a way to connect with the world and, by extension, with ourselves. Moreover, the idea of parallel universes or multiple dimensions, as proposed by some theories in quantum mechanics, opens up fascinating possibilities for understanding travel. If these theories hold true, then each journey we take might resonate across different dimensions of reality, creating a ripple effect that extends beyond the physical plane. In this way, travel could be seen as a bridge between different levels of existence, a way to explore not just the world we know, but the many worlds that may exist beyond our current understanding. As we come to the end of this exploration, we are left with more questions than answers. But perhaps that is the point. Travel, in all its forms, is an endless journey, a journey not just through space and time, but through consciousness, existence, and beyond. In every step we take, every mile we travel, we are participating in something much larger than ourselves. We are explorers on a cosmic journey, seeking to understand the mysteries of the universe and our place within it. And while we may never fully understand the true nature of reality, the act of exploring, of traveling, brings us closer to the truth, whatever that may be. In our previous exploration, we began to unravel the intricate tapestry of travel, not just as a physical act but as a journey through consciousness and existence itself. We examined the scientific impulses that drive us to explore, the philosophical questions that travel raises, and the metaphysical dimensions that connect our journeys to deeper realities. But the story does not end there. In this second part, we will delve even deeper into the significance of travel, exploring the psychological, cultural, and existential layers that shape our experiences. As we continue this journey, we'll uncover how travel reflects and influences our understanding of the self, society, and the vast, unknown expanses of the universe. Let us begin with the psychological aspect of travel. Why do we seek to leave our familiar surroundings? What drives us to venture into the unknown, often at great personal risk or discomfort? Psychologically, travel can be seen as an act of self-liberation. It allows us to step outside the routines and constraints of daily life, offering a temporary escape from the roles and responsibilities that define us. When we travel, we have the opportunity to redefine ourselves, to explore different facets of our identity, and to reconnect with parts of ourselves that we may have neglected. Moreover, travel can act as a catalyst for personal growth and transformation. The challenges we face on the road, whether navigating a foreign city, overcoming language barriers, or adapting to unfamiliar customs, push us to expand our comfort zones. These experiences can foster resilience, adaptability, and a deeper sense of self-awareness. But there is also a deeper psychological undercurrent at play. Travel can be seen as a manifestation of our unconscious desires and fears. Carl Jung, the renowned psychologist, might suggest that our journeys into the unknown are symbolic of the inner journeys we take into the unconscious mind. The unfamiliar landscapes we traverse may represent the unknown aspects of ourselves, the parts of our psyche that we are yet to fully understand or integrate. In this light, travel becomes a form of active imagination, a way to engage with the archetypes and symbols that reside within us. Each journey becomes a dialogue between the conscious self and the unconscious mind, offering insights into our deepest desires, fears, and aspirations. In many indigenous cultures, travel is not merely about movement but about connection to the land, to ancestors, and to the sacred. The Australian Aboriginal concept of song lines, for example, is a powerful illustration of this. According to this tradition, the land is crisscrossed by invisible paths created by the ancestors during the Dreamtime, the period of creation. These paths, or song lines, are not just routes to be traveled, they are stories, songs, and rituals that connect the people to their land and history. Similarly, in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, pilgrimage is seen as a sacred act of devotion. The arduous journeys to sacred sites like Mount Kailash or the Jokhang Temple are not just physical endeavors, they are spiritual practices, meant to purify the mind, accumulate merit, and bring the pilgrim closer to enlightenment. Even in more secular contexts, travel is often imbued with cultural significance. The Grand Tour, a tradition among European aristocrats in the 17th and 18th centuries, was a rite of passage, a way to acquire cultural knowledge and refinement. It was believed that exposure to the art, architecture, and history of Europe would cultivate a young person's intellect and character. These cultural perspectives remind us that travel is not just an individual experience but a collective one. It is a way of participating in a larger narrative, whether that narrative is spiritual, historical, or cultural. In traveling, we are not only exploring new places but also engaging with the stories, values, and beliefs that shape our understanding of the world. As we delve further into the existential dimensions of travel, we must confront the fundamental questions it raises about the human condition. Why do we wander? What are we searching for? And what does it mean to be a traveler in this vast, incomprehensible universe? Existential philosophers have long grappled with these questions. For Søren Kierkegaard, the journey is a metaphor for the search for meaning in an absurd and often incomprehensible world. Travel, in this sense, becomes a quest for authenticity, a way to confront the uncertainties and ambiguities of existence and to carve out a path that is true to oneself. Similarly, Jean-Paul Sartre's concept of bad faith, the denial of one's freedom and responsibility, can be related to travel. When we travel, we are often confronted with the vastness of the world and the limitations of our own existence. This can be both liberating and terrifying, as it forces us to confront our own freedom and the weight of our choices. In this way, travel can be seen as an act of rebellion against the constraints of society and the expectations placed upon us, a way to assert our freedom and create our own meaning. But travel is also a confrontation with the unknown, the unfamiliar, and the other. It forces us to question our assumptions and to open ourselves up to new perspectives and ways of being. In doing so, travel can be a path towards greater empathy, understanding, and connection, both with others and with ourselves. Ultimately, the existential significance of travel lies in its ability to strip away the superficial layers of our lives and reveal the core of our being. In the act of wandering, we find ourselves, our true selves, unburdened by the trappings of daily life and the expectations of others. Finally, let's consider travel as a path to transcendence. Throughout history, many have sought to transcend the limitations of the physical world through travel, whether by embarking on spiritual pilgrimages, exploring the farthest reaches of the earth, or venturing into the unknown realms of the mind. In this sense, travel can be seen as a form of spiritual practice, a way to transcend the mundane and connect with something greater than ourselves. The journey to a sacred site, the trek through a remote wilderness, or the exploration of a foreign culture can all be paths to transcendence, offering glimpses of the divine, the sublime, or the infinite. Moreover, travel can also be a means of transcending the self. By stepping outside of our comfort zones and immersing ourselves in new experiences, we can break free from the limitations of our own ego and connect with a larger, more universal consciousness. In this way, travel becomes a way of dissolving the boundaries between self and other, between the individual and the collective, between the finite and the infinite. The notion of transcendence through travel is also reflected in many mystical traditions, where the journey is often seen as a path towards union with the divine. In Sufism, for example, the concept of the safar or journey is central to the spiritual path. The journey is not just a physical movement from one place to another but a metaphor for the soul's journey towards God. In the end, travel as a path to transcendence reminds us that our journeys are not just about discovering new places but about discovering new dimensions of ourselves and the world around us. It is a way of expanding our consciousness, deepening our understanding, and ultimately, transcending the limitations of our physical existence. As we conclude this exploration of travel, we find ourselves standing at the threshold of the unknown, ready to embark on yet another journey, one that will take us deeper into the mysteries of the mind, culture, and the universe itself. In every journey we take, whether it is a physical voyage to a distant land or an inward journey of self-discovery, we are participating in something much larger than ourselves. We are explorers, wanderers, seekers of truth, and pilgrims on a path that leads us beyond the visible, beyond the known, and into the infinite possibilities of existence. The journey continues, and with each step we take, we move closer to understanding the true nature of travel and the deeper significance it holds for our lives. Thank you for joining me on this second part of our exploration into the philosophy, psychology, and transcendence of travel. If you found this journey inspiring, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and continue exploring these deep and existential topics with me. Remember, the journey is never truly over. Every step, every experience, and every encounter is a part of the ongoing adventure of life. So, keep wandering, keep seeking, and keep questioning. The road ahead is vast, and there is much more to discover. Until next time, may your journeys be filled with wonder, growth, and the endless pursuit of truth.